Alright, another day, another video at Minis, which is becoming my second home at the moment. So today I am doing my mate's S14. Very, very cool car that I want to also do a video on. So this is all the Gktec stuff I'm going to fit to this car today. Everything Gktec. So we have wheel nuts, rack spacer, offset rack bushes, front caster arms, rear toe arms, rear camber arms, and their front knuckles. So Ronnie wants to start doing track days in this car, so that's why he's doing all this suspension stuff. So I thought I'll jump on it, offer to do it, and make a video as well at the same time. So this is what we're dealing with here. Everything's pretty much stock in here. Wow. So what we're changing in the back today is these rear toe arms. Don't have to drop the exhaust. These top camber arms. Pretty much what I'm going to do today, because I'm going to do the rest in the front tomorrow, because the hoist needs to be used tonight and it needs to be rolling to get this off. So super rare unrolled guards. Wow. Never actually got to see underneath this car. It's very, very nice. Very, very nice stainless exhaust, which I'm pretty sure Primal did. Grady sump. And also, this is something very cool that other people probably won't care about, but I cannot remember the last time I saw one of these still with both left and right plastic covers on the lower control arms. So Ronnie, if you want to give me those, I'll happily take them. Pop this one back on for him. There we go. So in the back, yeah, all we're doing is these and these, and then we'll move to the front. I'm actually going to time lapse this stuff because they got music going and I don't want to get copyrighted, and I don't want to bust their balls to turn music off, so I'm just going to time lapse fitting this stuff. Alright, so upper and lowers are in. The good thing about these is the factory ones are actually straight, which I'll show you. So the factory ones are like that, where these ones have a bend in it, top and bottom, because when you lower these, being IRS, this arm and this arm get very close to the rail, and I've actually snapped arms in my Safiro previously with ones that don't have the kink in them. Just to show you, so I've just set these to the stock length. They're going to get a wheel alignment after anyway, so this is just to show you the stock one versus the Gktec ones. So as you can see with the kink in it. So I'm going to chuck this other side in now, and public service announcement from me and Gktec, always wear protection. Rear is all done on both sides. And front tomorrow. That's starting to wear through because of the height. Ooh. Yep. I need to do a wire tuck. Now I do have time, so I might swap out these caster rods, and I reckon that'll be it for today, and I'll finish the rest tomorrow. This car is full of surprises. Now they are very cool. Love HK stuff. And here is a comparison with the stock caster rods and the Gktec ones. So two things. One, they are also kinked like the rear arms, because when you mix them with these knuckles, which most people do, even if they're cut and shut or another brand aftermarket knuckle, with the more lock, the first point of contact is your caster rods. So these give you that extra instead of being straight for your wheel. Also, they're offset to one side on the other end to push the whole arm over. So now you can see here the clearance you gain by not having a straight arm. So now the first point of contact is the sway bar itself. So I've retaped this loom and tucked it above this lip, which is a very common S chassis thing, because now the lowest point is that. And for this corner, we are gonna do a plate like this. With more lock, you end up rubbing through the loom here, and as you can see, it rubs here. Drift car problems. They don't call me Jesse James for nothing. Do they, Ben? Huh? My fucking leg.
You copping it under
Yep. Oh, this is a really bad spot. I'm on fire duties up here.
Huh?
Just in case. So we're now doing rack spaces, which are these here. So one side gets a bolt on, passenger side, and the other side gets this washer that effectively spaces this out and allows the rack to travel more, in turn giving you more lock. I can't tell you why it's bolts in on one side and slip on the other, because I have no fucking idea.
Someone will answer that.
Someone will answer the question.
Put it in the comments.
If you know, put it in the comments. So now the limiting factor is the rail this way and the sway bar this way, which the rack should stop before it hits either of those anyway. So that's the bolt inside done, and that's the slip inside. Now I just got adjust the toe so that this thing isn't all over the shop, and that's done. And also this plate resealed. Give it another coat tomorrow. No more rubbing the loom. All right, that's it for today. So tomorrow, drop the front K-frame out, do knuckles, move rack forward, all that stuff. This 33, for some reason, I don't know what it is, has really got my juices flowing. I've had two of these, a sedan and a coupe, and it's making me really regret selling the cars. It's just something about this one. This one's in for full repaint, and also that RX-7 from a few videos ago, bay is all painted and it's back rolling on the ground. These are such a nice looking car. I think I prefer these over a Supra. Anyway, we'll continue tomorrow. Day 2 back at Minis, fitting the front Gktec knuckles. I've already started, loosened everything off on this side, so we'll get to it. I know these ABS sensors are going to be an absolute prick. So this is the stock knuckle versus the GK knuckle. As you can see, the steering arm section is a lot shorter, and from memory it's a 40mm drop spindle as well. So we're gonna have to raise the front of this car. Wind this back down and lock it off. So what you're doing is winding the shock up out of the body, which in turn pushes this whole assembly down, in turn raising the car. I'm the strongest man alive. And out we come. And GK knuckles in. Now we move on to the headfuck bit. So what we're going to do is drop the front K-frame and cut and weld all these brackets so the rack sits forward, so that it doesn't get any steering bind with these new knuckles. So we've got the rack loose. We're going to support the engine from the top and drop this K-frame out so we can start cutting and welding, or mini wheel. I'm not. This is the concoction we've come up with to hold the engine up, or just support the engine really, because the gearbox cross member's still on, while we drop the front K-frame. So wish us luck. I'm gonna cut along here, around here, straight across, down. And then down to here, straight across and straight up. And then this whole thing should slide forward and then re-weld it all. Also mixing it with these rack bushes, which as you can see are offset compared to these factory ones, which helps move the rack forward slightly as well. You beauty. Oh mate.
How much does he want to go? Oh, look at that. Both sides.
That's a nice weld, man. That's story worthy. So we actually got this done and back in today. Friday afternoon right now, so we wanted to get this back in before the weekend started. I'm actually standing in a Monaro engine bay to show you guys this. So those new, it's hard with the sun, those new rack bushes, which also move the rack forward a little bit more, So I'm actually just waiting for front hubs on Monday, and that'll be it. Back on the ground, and it can go for alignment. And I'm back at Mini's Paint and Panels again today to continue on my friend's S14. Now we're still waiting for front hubs, which will hopefully come today, because I'm sick of waiting. I want to put this thing on the ground and put the new kit on it, a new Navin kit that Mini painted for him. Gerald has added a couple of things to the list while we wait. So first of all, this diff is leaking, so I'm going to drop the diff out and reseal this back hat. We've also got some Gktec traction arms, which are these ones here. I don't know if you can see up the top there. That one there. And also a Gktec diversion plate, so these go on the rad support to sort of direct air into the engine bay. So I'll pop that stuff in today as well while we wait for the hubs. This is a really nice exhaust. V-bands everywhere, all TIG welded, full stainless. Really nice. So diff out, very simple one, about 15 minutes. So this is a 4.3 R200, 5-bolt shafts with a welded center. Only the best here. Also has, I noticed, solid diff bushes in the back. So literally Gktec full catalogue in this car now. Welded. So here you can see on the bottom where it's been seeping through with oil. Here as well. So who knows why, maybe just not the right sealant, or not clean, or not tight. I don't know. But I'm going to clean all this up, reseal it, and hopefully it doesn't leak again, because I really don't want to pull it back out. So again, we can compare here the stock ones versus the Gktec ones. So I'm just going to set them to stock length, just really thick. Girth always helps. And adjustable. So that's about it. Chuck these Gktec ones in. Now, as I mentioned previously, I'm still waiting for some sealant to come to seal the diff, still waiting for hubs. So in the meantime, I fitted that diversion plate, and I'm gonna pull this front bar off as the car's getting a new kit anyway. So front, sides, and I think a rear bar or rear pods. So I may as well just start on that while I'm waiting. So pretty much the whole front off, cooler, headlights, indicators, just to fit this bash plate, because you got to be able to get to these two 10mm and 12mm to bolt the front on. So this is going to protect this sump and everything around there.
Can you put it straight in now?
Oh, I reckon leave it for a bit. So both new skirts on. These skirts look a million times better than the ones that were on it, which are over here. These were so ugly. And a new front bar, which is a Navin copy, compared to the old one, stock series 1, which is here. So I just took the broken ABS sensors out, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that hard line.
Yeah.
Do you want to see what's behind that hard line?
Oh, wow.
Both sides have cracked.
I've actually seen that before.
Both sides in the same spot have cracked.
What the fuck, man?
To that hole. Both from, I'm assuming, started from this hole.
Get the welder.
Fucking, I've seen heaps of S13s, 180s, never an S14.
I've seen one, it was an S13, and I forget, I think it went, but it was like fucking...
Yeah, well, look at
Like
Gerald's.
that.
Gerald's 180 was
Yeah.
fucked. Both sides. It was behind the hard line for the ABS sensor.
Like just from the strut tower bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll weld it up for it. That's another job to put on the list.
Fucking hell. So add that to the list of things to fix while this car is here. This could be the longest video ever posted on this channel, I reckon. So the Navin bar is now fitted. Looks so much better. Bash plate's all done, mounted, front end's all back on. Now I ended up leaving the diff overnight so that all the sealant could really set. And I'm gonna chuck this back in right now. The diff is done, all back in, exhaust back on. Still waiting on goddamn front hubs. And need to weld this up before I forget. Finally, we have some front hubs. Jesus Christ. Just want to make sure these are the same. Yep. So I'm going to smash out these studs, put the Gktec ones in, and we can finally put this thing back together and get it on the ground. So there's our shiny new hubs with extended wheel studs. So slam all this back together, both sides, and hopefully get this car on the damn ground. And that is it, both sides all back together. Thank God, wheels on and on the ground. So that is it, that is its final form. Now off for alignment. Oh, and actually we're missing the mirrors still and the stock rear spoiler that's getting painted tomorrow. What a difference. Car looks so much better now. Good job, Ronnie. Alright, take it for a quick drive around the block to make sure this thing, nothing falls off it. I don't know how this is going to look on the camera because I just have the camera jammed between the headrests. Alright, drives like shit, needs an alignment bad. Feels like it's got a bit of a knock in the front, to be honest. that's probably going to be it for this one. I reckon next week I'm going to do a proper video on that S14, like to explain why I think that car is so special and do a proper, you know, drive, those sort of videos on it. I know people are asking for VN content, but I'm waiting on other people, so I can't do anything until I get my box back, which I don't have any control over, so you're just gonna have to be patient and just watch the other videos that I put out. In the meantime, please don't leave the channel. There will be VN stuff coming soon, so relax, guys. Anyway, see you guys next week.